Today's agenda, got the suitcase up in the central. Go to room 112, tell the block essential.
The fact that he shouted us out, it really just put us on the map even more.
Oh, baby, baby, baby. Yeah. Everybody put your hands together.
Yeah, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Courtney, Mafi Johnson. You are watching Hip Hop Weekly All Access. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually sitting here with R&B royalty. It's an honor, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here with 112, man. What's going on, y'all?
My brother.
I've been seeing y'all online, man. Y'all been very, very busy right now. What's going on with y'all, man?
You know what? Life does not suck right now, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. It is awesome to be back in our element again, man. I was telling somebody the other day how normal it felt again. You know, and like after 12 years, it feels normal. You know, like life feels normal again. Like let me not paint a picture like, you know, life wasn't normal, but it just feels a familiarity is going on right now, man.
Right.
So it's a really good time for 112 and R&B right now.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. So you guys basically are in like promo mode right now?
Yes, sir.
New album coming out or something? What's going on?
Man. It's going down. October 27th, Q might slam the run. Man, this is probably the best R&B you about to hear. I think it's the best
in a long time.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
It's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna kick it off like this, man. It's 7.5 billion people in the world. You know what I'm saying? And back in like the late 90s, man, a guy named Puffy,
right?
He signed 4 guys from Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right.
What do you guys think it was about you guys at that time that made him want to sign you? And before you answer that, I understand the story about, you know, Faith co-signed for you guys initially led to you getting signed, but what initially led him to like, all right, listen, y'all?
I think it was the fact that, for one, the relationship that our manager at the time had with Puff, he knew him, and that was basically the bridge between us and Puffy. But aside from that, I mean, we came from the 90s, which was really a time of great artist development. So we were in the boot camp, so to speak, developing our skills, you know, singing every day, learning our harmonies, perfecting our craft, going to the mall, learning how to dress, learning how to look like stars, learning how to roll like a star. And at that point, when the opportunity met, we had already put the work in and established ourselves, especially in Atlanta, as one of the premier groups in the talent show circuit. We had won so many of the big talent shows in Atlanta that they would no longer let us compete. We always had to be special guests. So by the time we had laid our foundation, put our groundwork in, and we ran into Puff, once he met us, it was pretty much undeniable. I mean, we looked like a class act. We looked like superstars when he saw us because, you know, Kev and our management at that time always had us dressed fly, and we sounded like stars because at the end of the day, we had been rehearsing and practicing every day. And so when that opportunity came, we was just ready for it.
Daron, I'm glad you answered that, because my next question is geared towards you. I know you've written for a lot of people. Actually, I didn't even know you wrote Keisha Cole, I Should Have Cheated, man. That like blew my mind.
Baby, first of all, let me say, you can't accuse me of all the things you know that you are guilty of.
Yeah, it's funny that you speak on that. That song itself was originally for Nivea. So I was in the studio working with Nivea, and I had came up with this hook, I Should Have Cheated, and I had started playing the guitar, so I did the guitar, and I came up with the hook to it, did the track, and then Q had saw me working with a lot of different people, and he was like, yo man, next time you're in the studio, call me. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the studio with Nivea, I had written this hook for her, and then I called Q, and Q came to the studio. Q wrote the verses, we pretty much finished the song with Nivea. She recorded it. She actually had performed it a couple of times. People responded to it positively, but when it was time for her to do her album, she didn't use the song. And one of the reasons that she didn't use it was because once she told me that she wasn't gonna make it a single, I was like, nah, I can't, you know, because I really believe that the song was like a song that could launch a female's career. I just felt like it was like a huge hit. I felt like it was a female anthem, so I was like, well, if y'all not gonna make it a single, I'm not gonna let it sit on your album. So I said, you know, I declined. A couple of years later, Keisha Cole saw me in LA, She came to the video shoot where we were shooting. She said, yo, I want to work with you. I read the credits, blah, blah, blah. Came to the studio and played the song for her and her manager, and they actually stayed, and they didn't even take the flight home. They said, we're going to record this tonight.
So as a songwriter, which artist in the game gave you your big break as a songwriter? Was it Nivea, or which artist was like, all right, man, write something for me?
Well, honestly, 112 really, you know, because like when we first started and we got with Puffy and all that, I was kind of like an up and coming songwriter. I was always the musician of the group, so like when we would play and sing, and like we were singing the piano, I was always the guy playing and singing and giving the guys notes and stuff.
Hang on to the world as it spins around. Please don't let the spin get you down.
Kind of like writing songs, but I really didn't have that production experience. But when I got to Bad Boy, I got a chance to be around Mario Winans, Steve J, a lot of hit me.
Great songwriters.
Got cultivated in that sense. And then some of my first opportunities to actually be produced were with 112, like Cupid, Anywhere, It's Over Now, Dance With Me, list goes on and on, Crazy Over You. So that was really, you know, my first opportunity was with the group.
He skipped over one. His actual first production was "Loving You Tonight" with R. Kelly and Biggie Smalls. He produced that.
Well, yeah, that's outside of 112. That was my first.
But that's one of my questions.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
I ain't know like there's a sequence on that.
Yeah, so
Wow.
he produced "Loving You Tonight." So.
Okay, well, since you brought up Cupid, and for me personally, I ain't saying this because y'all sitting here, man. That's to me, that's like one of the well-written R&B songs of all times to me.
Right.
How it was written
Right.
and the execution, how y'all did it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so tired of the way you turn my words into deception and lies. Don't misunderstand me when I try to spin my mind. What I'm trying to say, oh, Cupid, doesn't lie. What do you want unless you give it a try?
I always want to ask y'all this. What was the inspiration behind Cupid, man? How you come? And you wrote it as a teenager.
Right. Now that's a funny story, bro. You know, at the time that we were recording this album, Babyface was like the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he was like the artist. You know what I mean? And biggest songwriter, biggest producer. And anybody that was making some noise on the charts, they had a song written up in the
Right.
to me, and everybody was working with Babyface at the time. So 12 felt like we needed a song. Everybody at Bad Boy was like, yo, we need to holler at Babyface. Well, this was towards the end of our project, and there was no more Babyface money. You know what I'm saying? We was almost out, man. So what we did was we had a meeting with him, and he loved it and everything, but at the end he declined. You know, so what we did was we still wanted that Babyface sound, so we said let's do it ourselves. And and that's where the origin, that's where the inspiration and the origin was, because we still wanted a Babyface quote unquote sound, but we wanted to make it 112, and we didn't, and we felt like we could do it. You know, as a matter of fact, I think it was our management at the time was kind of down about the fact. We were like, man, we can do that. You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to him, whatever. Like, man, we can write that. You know what I mean? Like, we can. Real simple, you know, because, you know, like Daron said, the simplicity of Babyface was simple drums, simple strings, simple chords.
Yeah,
and
that was the formula.
We can do that.
Right.
We can do that. You know what I mean? So we just came up with Cupid, man, and Puff was kind of hesitant at first. Cupid, are y'all sure? We was like, bro, back up, man. Let us do this. Let us write, man. And then we finally came up with Cupid, and you know, our manager at the time, he really pushed for us to, you know, to push Cupid, and then that's where the whole inspiration came from. So, you know, inspiration comes from everywhere. You know,
like that,
like lack of money.
Yeah. I want to talk about cursing in R&B, man, because you guys brought up something I was gonna ask just now. The song with R. Kelly and Biggie. My first time ever hearing a curse word in R&B was on an album that you guys was on, Life After Death.
Okay.
Okay. My first time ever hearing cursing was R. Kelly, I'm fucking, whoa.
Right.
That was a lot for me,
Right.
you know, as a teenager.
Right.
So how do you guys feel about today's R&B and their approach to the women now? You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about loving them no more, they want to F them now, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel about the four-letter word in R&B today?
That's your word.
Well, I think that element was always there, and it was in music, and you know, it was more prevalent in hip hop. But at the same time, outside of music, like that's a real aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's a wham bam, thank you ma'am, and sometimes it's this somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
And so R&B kind of was put into a box, so to speak, in a lot of people's minds. And I think R. Kelly was one of the first people to kind of like, okay, let's take R&B out of this box. Let's start talking about some of the things that we're really dealing with in our lives outside of love, life, and relationships, and just arguing with each other and getting married. Like, let's kind of talk about some of the real subjects that we're dealing with here. And I think hip hop always kind of had somewhat of an edge on R&B, especially in the 90s before R&B started speaking out and just saying whatever they wanted to say. Hip hop had this edge that, wow, you know, they can really say whatever they wanted, and we can't. You know what I'm saying? So I think like pioneers of the 90s, like 112, R. Kelly, like we helped to bridge the gap between there, because even though R. Kelly was cussing in that song, we wrote a song called I'm a Player that was very, you know, controversial at the time, because we was talking about instead of saying that we're in love with you and want to get married, we were saying, hey, we're struggling with the fact that we're still young and we still want to do our thing, but we still love you. But at the same time, we're still young. But we can see you as a wife, but we don't have the capacity to make you a wife.
Right. Okay.
So we was willing to express that in R&B when people were still singing stuff like Cupid. You know, people still singing stuff like "I love you," "I'll make love to you." You know, so it's kind of like R&B had to evolve. It had to evolve. It had to have the freedom to say, you know, whatever it was that we wanted to say. And I think it was like for me too. I feel you. That was kind of. I was like, whoa.
That was
new for me.
Yeah, that was an eye-opening moment, bro.
It was a process that I had to get used to as well.
Okay. All right. Q. Question for you, man. Biggie, man. I want to talk Biggie shout-outs.
My 112 CD blast, I was passed. She came twice, I came last. Roll the grass. Room 112, where the players dwell. And stash more cash than Bert Fidel. Inhale. Today's agenda, got the suitcase up in the central. Go to room 112, tell them Blanco sent you.
Biggie shouted you guys out a lot.
Yeah.
He shouted Mace out, shouted Diddy out, but he shouted you guys out a lot. You know what I'm saying? What was one? My 112 CD blast on Story to Tell. Room 112 where the players dwell.
Yes.
I'm talking about all that stuff. Why do you guys think Biggie shouted you guys so much? You guys are four teenagers from Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Why did he go so hard for you guys? You think?
I think it was just genuine love. It was genuine love. We always talk about the Fab Five: Big, Craig, Mac,
Total,
Faith, and 112.
Okay.
And when you talk about the Bad Boy family, it really was that. So we always show love to each other. And by him being like the big brother of the label, we were like the little brothers. And in the family, big brother gonna always look out for little brother. The fact that he shouted us out, it really just put us on the map even more, because you figure you go from being four guys who no one knows to the dopest MC in the game, co-signing you, introducing you. He's giving you the stamp of approval. So what better way to be introduced? Times Square, right? Sit down. Yeah. Times Square, Diddy, Big, Mace. I mean, it was just the perfect setup, man. But just the love is throughout the entire label. You see it a lot with the Biggie and the 112 relationship, but that's how we are with Faith. That's how she is with us. That's how we are with Total. Vice versa.
Y'all like a real family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, boy, it's really a family.
Absolutely.
It's really a family, bro.
Y'all say Bad Boy family, it's like y'all mean that.
It's really
like Faith said in her book, man. She stayed with us in at the apartment. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't hyperbole. It wasn't joking. Like she actually stayed with us. You know what I mean?
Come cook for us.
Took us to church.
Wow. Yeah, took us to church. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Grocery shopping for us. Like.
All right, Slim, check this out, man. So you got such an awesome, unique voice, man. It's like, don't nobody sound like you. I'm pretty sure you know that, you know what I'm saying? Nobody sound like you at all. And I've heard other R&B singers, they said they had to get used to their voice. Like Neo, he wasn't sure because his voice was high pitched, you know, he didn't know how to use it. And The Weeknd the same way. What kind of obstacles did you ever overcome trying to use your voice and your sound and make people get used to
Bro,
it?
you coming with some
That's
great
a good
questions.
question right there.
Like, them last
I
two,
read about saying that's a good question.
you coming with them, bro.
Wild questions. Well, you know
Think
what?
about
I think my struggles were like before the group. I could never be in chorus. The chorus teacher always told me that you can sing, but because of the tone of your voice, it pierces against everybody else's. I don't have the traditional voice. So ever since I was like in kindergarten, I always knew that I had a very untraditional voice.
Really?
And it took till I met this man, Mike, where I said I could sing, and he was like, we'll see, So we went and got in the chorus. It was the lunchroom.
Yep.
And and I was singing. I started singing. And man, he looked at me and he looked at the situation and said, "Man, you know what? This can work. This really can work."
Wow.
So from there, I said, okay, well, I feel like I belong. So now I started getting more comfortable as far as how I use it. So like with my voice, I use it as an instrument. So
Okay.
the voice, the song has to be a certain kind of a way. So it has to be presented a certain kind of a way in order for it to work. So that's why I said I call Daron a genius for a reason. Mike's ears are that way for a reason, because when we do the songs, it's not like you just write any type of song,
right?
Because I can't sing any type of song, but it's that the record itself is presented a certain kind of a way, and then as years went along, I started being more in control of how I sing. Like now, I get phone calls. I've sung in all different genres.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I get it. I get it now. So I appreciate the fact that everybody kind of respects that. They recognize that my voice is.
It was a breath of fresh air when I first heard it. It's like, wow, what is this? Oh, they from Atlanta? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dope, man. All right, so Mike. All right. The new album is called Q, Mike, Slim, Daron. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys catering to the hardcore 112 fans on this album, or are you kind of looking for a whole new demographic?
Well, here's the thing, man. When we got into this whole mindset of doing an album, it was based solely on the fans wanting us to do another album. Like, we didn't have any intent on doing another album. Like, we were hoping, maybe one day, but we had been touring 5 years since, prior to, this whole actually getting serious. Like, each one of us would talk about it, but at the back of our mind, we knew like it ain't nothing gonna happen anytime soon or whatever, man. Because number one, we kind of wanted to make sure that our legacy was gonna be still in place, and so if we put out anything that's similar to what was going on in today's market, man, like we may get a little blowback, man, and we just did not want to sully the legacy that was 112 already. Like, we felt like we had cemented ourselves as that late 90s, early 2000s R&B, pound for pound, can't sing better than 112 singing group. You know what I mean? Right. So we felt like it was a little trepidation there, man, with us actually doing an album. So when we finally decided to do an album, it was at the behest of the fan base reaching out to each one of us, individually, and then as a unit, on our social medias, and like, yo, if y'all don't put out another album, it was a demand for it, because I guess a lot of people, it's a what's that that post us on Instagram, if it is not like R&B love, I don't want it like 90s on it. Yeah, so it's been this underground campaign going on, this grassroots campaign going on, so to speak, of people that like, yo, can y'all please put something out, anything out, because they're missing that aspect of it. With respect to everybody and what's going on with today's music now, it's something missing, that the people that our genre, is needing right now. And so those are the ones that are reaching out to us, say, man, can y'all please put out an EP, something, man. So we kept hearing, man, and at some point, man, like, these fans are turning, they're turning your ass if you don't give them what they want, man. You know what I mean? So it was just really them reaching out to us, and then just after fan after fan after fan, like, please, can y'all we started to say, okay, look, man, we really need to take this thing serious, man, because these cats and these women are coming at us like for real. Y'all need to put an album out. And it wasn't just fan, you can tell fandom, you know what I mean? You can tell when somebody's really just for the sake of it. But this was real deal Holyfield, like, bro, can y'all please, you know what I mean? An EP, something, a jingle, something, man. Can y'all please remind us of when we were young and when we were, you know, when music had substance and when music was really about making you feel good, and you know what I mean? So we just felt like that was the move that we had to do, man. So it really was just the fans at the end of the day that made us, you know, put this album together.
Well, that's a great segue because I kind of want to talk about fans, but I want to talk about groupies. I want to talk about groupie betrayal.
What in the world is that?
Groupie. Talk about groupie betrayal. All right, so y'all know it's 2017, man. It's like the age where you can't really even meet a woman, especially y'all, what y'all do, meet a woman, and you know, maybe lay down or whatever, without them want to Snapchat, put you all on different social media and stuff, and send it to the shade room and stuff. Right. How do you guys deal with, as far as like just trying to keep your, you know, keep everything private and stuff like that, so it won't get out there to the world like that?
Don't do it, man.
Just don't do it, because I mean, this in this age right here, you know, legacy means not just on stage but off stage too.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, if they deeming us legends, we have to show that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we have to show and prove how legends run
and how they carry themselves.
How they carry themselves. That's on and off stage, and you know, and one of those situations where if it's women, see, R&B is a culture. It's our lifestyle. So women, this is a part of the culture, it's a lifestyle. But you know, you're not gonna let that take over your situation, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, okay, there are women, we have women, 90% of our fans are women, that's great. But we think of our women as queens, and and that's how we see them as, you know what I'm saying? We're not there to exploit anybody, so we don't put ourselves in the situation of being exploited. So, you know, we just look at it that way, you know what I'm saying? So,
you know, it's
awesome,
crazy too, man. Like, you don't want to mess up somebody's image of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so you kind of want to just be legends, and you know, the legend, you kind of gotta, you know, take it at it's over there, like it's a legend, it's something big. But like when you see Michael Jordan or Kobe or somebody like that, he's like, bro, I don't even know if I want to go over there and talk to that man. I don't want to mess up my mind.
They never meet your idols is what they say.
Right, exactly. You know, because you just never, because they're human. You know what I mean? And so we kind of just stay away from all that, man. Like we in the beginning, yeah, you know, we did everything that R&B, but as we got older, we just started to realize, man, look, like these people are looking at us in a whole different light, man. We got to step back from all that stuff, man, because the last thing you need is somebody to, you know, accuse you of something or insinuate that you did something, and then all that 20 years of hard work
and break down the whole legacy. If one of y'all messed up in this, you kind of bring the whole legacy down, right?
And the good thing is that we're a team, man, so we can like, hey, bro, no, I don't think you want to come on over here. You know?
Your hands full of cards parallel to mine, with your poker face on, forcing me to draw four.